Saturated and timeless colors and comfortable, cozy furnishings are definitely what defines cottage style. Hi there, this is Jody from simpleminded.life, and in today's video we're breaking down the 2022 color trends for cottage style. Let's get started. Okay, so I thought the theme of cottage style would be perfect for today's video because what I'm seeing across the board with all of the paint colors are that the colors are so cozy and timeless and nature inspired, which just goes hand in hand with cottage style. And I'm pretty excited about all of these color palettes, and I hope after we've taken a look at them today you will also be super excited and inspired to, I don't know, go paint a room. Alright, so across the board with all of these paint companies, while the trends are definitely still future facing, all of them have a strong foothold in the past. So with all of these colors, we're seeing a return to a lot of timeless classic colors that offer grounding and reassurance. This is a theme that I see over and over and over, that as a collective, everyone is looking for that cozy factor in their homes and for them to offer a place of solace and comfort and offer grounding and reassurance. And color is one of the best ways to achieve this, and one of the most affordable options as well. Alright, so we're going to start off with Sherwin Williams, and they are calling their color mix forecast for 2022 mode, and it's broken up into 4 color stories. The first color story is called Method, and the way that they describe it is being the natural order of things. All right, and I'm going to read you exactly what they say about this color story on their website. They say, nature's processes, the gentle acts of becoming, show themselves in a collection of organic neutrals and tonal luxury. This palette's earthiness and rich warmth with its sepia softness balance the lush refinement of Art Deco silhouettes on the radical raw edge of 1980s postmodernism. Its influences are Art Deco, intention, modern organic, and postmodernism. The Method color palette includes 6 soothing organic colors: accessible beige, evergreen fog, urbane bronze, which was last year's color of the year, uber umber, woven wicker, soji white, chartreuse, bakelite gold, and beige. And look at these gorgeous interior stories that they've put together. It so reminds me of what I would consider to be the quintessential Parisian postmodern apartment, but definitely with a more kind of boho, natural, kind of updated 70s vibe. All right, and the second color story in Sherwin Williams 2022 color mix is called Opus, a masterpiece of your own making. And what they have to say about Opus: color creates movement, composing a unique masterwork of dynamic transitions and stirring rhythms. This palette of dusky, deep tones and unexpected accents was created to be a new kind of classical, to set drama and emotion to the art of good style and to never ever fade into the background. I love that. And its influences are modern maximalism, glam glam, industrial, theater, and moody eclectic. So if you're one of those maximalist lovers, and if you're like me, you're really loving the kind of updated vintage and English cottage style, or cottagecore for that matter, I think these colors are perfect for those cottage styles. So in this palette we have 6 saturated, rich, timeless colors. They are Cocoa Whip, Garret Gray, Iron Ore, Aleutian, Coral Clay, Navel, which was also a previous color of the year, Samovar Silver, Red Bay, and Blackberry. Beautiful, timeless colors. All right, and the third color story in the 2022 Sherwin Williams color mix is called Dreamland, a world of wonders softly awakening. This is another color palette that I think gels so nicely with the vintage cottage style as well as cottagecore. And let's hear what they have to say about Dreamland. The fullness of living, of existing just as we are, meets the vernal sweetness of bud and bloom, of a life-giving energy at the start of a new season. Set yourself adrift in a fantasy realm of pearlescent tones, new growth greens, and lavish pinks, and tend to a space where fresh ideas flourish. If that's not romanticism at its best, and speaking straight to the heart of cottagecore and cottage style, I don't know. I don't know what else it is. I love it. And they say its influences are biomimicry, that's a hard word, biomimicry, renewal, eco-style, and wellness. All right, and then the last color story in the 2022 Sherwin Williams color mix is Ephemera, and it's a piece of your past and a look to the future. This is what they have to say about Ephemera. Honoring the timelessness of sleek and functional mid-century modern design, this palette is a play on primary color, an evolution of bygone basics from fleetingly familiar to forever loved. Each shade is carefully chosen to evoke the fond remembrance of what once was and the unwavering optimism of what could be someday, or what could someday be. And its influences are nostalgia, retro futurism, meaning and memory, and optimism. So once again, for vintage cottage style, you can't go wrong with any of these colors. English cottage. Across the board, I am noticing with not just the 3 paint companies that we're looking at today, but just in general, I'm seeing kind of resurgence of primary colors that are shaded, and we definitely see that here with these 6 colors in this palette, which are Alabaster, Pink Shadow, Sierra Redwood, Peace Yellow, Inky Blue, Cascades, Moody Blue, Basque Green, and Rejuvenate. All right, so super inspired. I love that Sherwin Williams takes us on this journey through these 4 color stories. I think it's so interesting and exciting to see what they come up with every year. All right, moving on, let's take a look at Benjamin Moore and their color of the year, which is October Mist, which is a beautiful shaded sage green. It's just a very relaxing color. And this is what Benjamin Moore has to say about Evergreen Fog. Make room for creativity. Invoking the silver green stem of a flower, October Mist creates a canvas for other colors and your imagination to blossom. So as you can see, there's definitely a theme this year. 2 more botanic color stories and just a return to nature as a way to create coziness and comfort. All right, so for Benjamin Moore's 2022 color trends, they've picked out a beautiful, saturated, timeless palette of 14 colors. And with this palette, they've divided it up into 4 distinct stories. Make room for creativity. Invoking the silver green stem of a flower, October Mist creates a canvas for other colors and your imagination to blossom. In their color of the year, October Mist, I think I said evergreen fog earlier, so I stand corrected. Sorry about that mistake, but October Mist is equally like evergreen fog. It is a muted sage green that can be used as a neutral, as an alternative to beige or the ever popular gray. You can totally use October Mist in the same way. Like they said, it creates a canvas for other colors. All right, and their next color story is Make Room for Play. Luminous pales invigorate the senses. And this palette is full of pastel colors that have an air of whimsicalness as well as softness. Benjamin Moore's third color story for their 2022 color trends is Make Room for Nurturing. Botanical hues ground us in warm reassurance. There's that theme of reinsurance again and being grounded. Definitely a desire from all of these paint companies to ground us and reassure us through color. And I think that's a wonderful notion because I know it works. There's definitely psychology behind colors, and color just has the ability to instantly kind of evoke a feeling or a mood. All right, and lastly, the last color story for Benjamin Moore's Color Trends 2022 is Make Room for Expression. Refreshed primaries give root to personal style. And here we have another primary color. This one's not quite as bold as the one from Sherwin Williams. I would say this version is a little bit more muted, but once again, we're seeing those primary colors that are shaded to offer that timeless comfort and reassurance. All right, and lastly we have Farrow and Ball, and I saved this one for last because I guess you could say that I'm a true Farrow and Ball fangirl. I love all their colors in general, and just like all the other paint companies for 2022, the colors in my opinion are even more timeless and just even more cozy and comforting, perfect for the cottagecore, cottage style, vintage cottage, any of the cottage decor styles. You can't go wrong with any of these colors. And I want to start off with a quote by Joa, and she says, "There is something inherently human in the colors that we are attracted to for 2022, as well as in the way that we use them. They are an eclectic mix of the pure and the humble that evokes the warmth and harmony of a more innocent age while celebrating life today. Function goes hand in hand with ornament, using colors and finishes in unusual ways to celebrate the principles of utility, kindness, and honesty." So that right there, I think, says it all. The first color that she is forecasting to be trending for 2022 is Babouche number 223. This cheerful shade will intensify when used in large areas, named after the distinctive color of the leather slippers worn by men in Morocco. Rooms that feature babouche appear to be full of sunshine, especially when combined with understated schoolhouse white. The palette itself is a simple, folksy feel, but its use across the walls, both panel and floor, creates an overall look that is incredibly striking. And I couldn't agree more. All right, and the next color, which is just an overall neutral you can use anywhere that she says is going to be trending, is Schoolhouse White number 291. This is a soft off-white, and in this image we're taking a look at a pareback shade without the cool undertones of the more contemporary neutral groups. There is something so familiar and comforting about a painted floor. And this checkerboard pattern in stone blue and schoolhouse white modern eggshell instantly transports you to the past. The nostalgia continues with breakfast room green in washable modern emulsion on the lower walls and schoolhouse white in a flatter estate emulsion on the upper walls and ceiling. Joa adds, this age-old form of decorating introduces color just below the eye level to retain a light and airy atmosphere above, while also providing durability. All right, and the next color that she says is going to be trending for 2022 is Breakfast Room Green number 81, and this has to be my favorite Farrow and Ball color. It's actually one of the colors that I've already picked out for my house renovation, and here's a sample that I painted quite a while ago. And let's see what she has to say about this one. So she says it is the most cheerful of all Farrow and Ball's greens. It remains lively in both bright sunlight or softer candlelight. Using one color on both walls and woodwork such as lively breakfast room green is great for making a room look bigger by disguising the limits of the space. The bold use of this one color also creates a perfect background for art or for furniture which can be upcycled with a lick of modern eggshell. The combination here of breakfast room green and stone blue feels both arresting and familiar, while the chalky white matte finish of our signature estate emulsion on the walls shows these colors at their very best as the light changes through the day. And that is one of the reasons why I specifically chose this green for my kitchen and my breakfast room. Traditionally, in houses, the breakfast area or breakfast room was facing towards the east where the sun comes up, which is one of the reasons why it was painted this green, to catch the changing light as the sun rose. And I'm lucky enough that our breakfast and kitchen room actually is east facing, so I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what this color looks like in our space. All right, and the next color that Joa says is going to be trending for 2022 is Stone Blue number 86, and this is a warm and timeless blue. Named after the indigo pigment, which was often imported in lumps in the 18th century, while Schoolhouse White is pared back, timeless and familiar, it has a subtle sophistication that makes it perfect foil for stronger hues like the lively tones of Stone Blue, used here on the door in full gloss. The traditional values of full gloss are perfect for use in the home in 2022 and can be introduced sparingly and in surprising ways, perhaps on a door or a kitchen unit to add a modern feel with a suitably vintage flavor. The strong classic tones of Incarnadine below the chair rail also introduce some excitement while retaining an element of modesty. And that is the red color that she is talking about, which brings me to the last color that she says is going to be trending for 2022, and that is Incarnadine number 248, and is Farrow and Ball's richest crimson. Unashamedly classic and glamorous, and once again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, this is kind of Farrow and Ball's take on one of those primary colors that has been shaded, although I do say that Farrow and Ball's primary color take this year with their red is probably the boldest and most saturated that I've seen yet. It's not quite as shaded as Sherwin Williams or Benjamin Moore's, but it's still shaded enough that it feels classic and timeless and cozy. All right, guys, so there you have it. Those are the 2022 color trends from Sherwin Williams, Benjamin Moore, and my favorite, Farrow and Ball. I do hope that you found some inspiration in this walkthrough today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content that I'm creating, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you enjoyed this video on cottage style, make sure to check out my videos here on 7 cottage style aesthetics, as well as how to decorate cottage style without looking country. All right, until next time, bye.